Alright, so right now we're just going to practice polygon angles. So instead of really calling it a lesson, it's really just going to be a kind of like practice. So I'm going to have you pause the video. You're going to go ahead and solve out the problems based off of the formulas, so we can review the formulas. If we're looking for the sum of the interior angles of a polygon, remember you're going to take a look. This would be the sum equals the number of sides your shape has, minus 2. Okay, once you simplify that, then multiply by 180 degrees. If we just want one interior angle, then we would take the sum and divide it by the number of sides, and that would give us one angle, or whenever you see each angle. They're really looking for one angle. Alright, the sum of exterior angles of a polygon is 360 degrees. An exterior angle of a regular polygon, you're going to take 360 and divide it by the number of sides, which we practiced at the end. Okay, and the number of sides of a regular polygon, which we would take 360 and divide it by the angle. Alright, so looking at this problem number 2 and number 5, so we're looking for the sum. Actually, stop. We've already practiced problems like this already. So what I'd like you to do is you're going to press pause on this video if you're already watching it and you haven't started these problems, because I really need you to go ahead and practice these before just seeing how it's done. Okay? And I'm just going to give you the answers actually on this because I really want you guys to go ahead and practice this concept without me being there. Alright, so I'm going to do the same. I'm going to pause. Alright, real quick, if the sum of the measures of the interior angle of a 20-polygon, if you have not completed this work on your own first, stop. Do the work and then come back. Because the only way that you're going to learn while doing it this way is if you actually attempt it on your own and use your own brain for these practice problems. Alright, now that we've gotten through that, the first thing that we're going to do is start off with, because we're looking for the sum of the interior of the angles, we're going to go ahead and use the sum formula, S equals n minus 2 times 180. Substitute the 25 in for how many sides you have. It's 25 minus 2, which is 23. 23 times 180. Is going to give you 4,140, and that's going to be the sum. When we say sum, that's all angles on the inside. Next one, what is the sum of the measure of exterior angles of a decagon? Trick question. If the sum of the exterior, if you see sum of the measures of the exterior, that's 360 no matter how many sides it has. Alright, so let's take a look at number 12. Number 12, we have finding the value of x. You should have had your equation set up. First, figure out how many sides you have total, which is 5, and how many angles are the sum of the interior angles, which is 540 for a 5-sided figure. Then you add all of those angles together, plus x equals 540. Set up your equation, or combine like terms with all of those angles, and subtract. It would be 121 degrees. Alright, so let's take a look at number 13. No, let's undo that. Come back. Okay. So looking at this, if we want to find the value of x, this one's similar to the last one, and except for the fact that I didn't write it all out. You just add all of the interior angles, subtract it from 1080. How I found 1080 was I counted how many sides we have and plugged it into our interior sum formula to find that the sum of this figure was 1080. And then subtract how many the angles that we did have, and that left us with x equals 144. All right. This one I thought I'd go ahead and explain out just because we have a binomial in there, a few binomials, but what we're going to do is the same exact thing. So we start off, we first need to figure out how many sides does it have. It has 6 sides. So we need to ultimately know what's the interior angle sum. So that's going to end up being n minus 2 times 180 degrees. That's our formula for finding the sum of the interior angles. And I'm going to substitute the information I know. So remember, n represents how many sides we have, which is 6. So s equals 6 minus 2 times 180, which is 4 times 180. 4 times 180 is going to give me 720 for the sum of the angles. Okay, now that we know that, we're going to add all of these together in order to tell us, set it equal to 720. So I'm going to go ahead and write it out. I have 9x minus 19 plus 111 plus 5x plus 8 plus 128 plus, and I started here and I'm going all the way around. Don't forget that this is 90. 7x plus 3 plus 90. Look at that! I thought I was going to run out of space. So, next thing that we're going to do is combine like terms. There's 9x, 5x, 7x. Okay, so adding that together, that's 14, 21x. And then we need to go ahead and combine the constants. So that's, I'm going to go ahead and grab a calculator. So I ended up with, remember that's negative 19 plus 111 plus 8 plus 128 plus 3 plus 90. And that's going to end up giving us 321 equals 720. Just triple checking. Yep. Next up, we're going to subtract 321 to both sides. 21x equals 399, and we're going to divide by 21. And our x value is 19. So if we found 19, okay, but watch out. It's truly asking us to find this right here, which is the angle of, the measure of angle V, which I almost missed. Okay, so if we need to find just a specific angle, we need to be able to substitute it back in. So we're going to end up having 5 times 19 plus 8 equals the measure of angle V. So here we go, 5 times 19 times 8 is going to give us 760 for that one angle. The measure of angle V. Bam. All right. Let me double check that. Something's not quite right. I messed up. 5 times 19 plus 8. Yep, I messed up. That should be 103. So 103 degrees. All right. Didn't make sense because that was a very large angle for how many sides that figure already had. All right, here's for number 17. Notice how it says regular polygon. So whenever you see the word regular, all the sides are congruent and all the angles are congruent. Now, so when we're asked to solve for x, back to that, all of the angles are going to be congruent. All right, so we first need to figure out the sum of the angles, so I substituted into the sum angle formula, the interior sum of angles formula, and then the next thing that we're going to do is go ahead and take that sum and divide it by the number of sides. So that gave me that each angle is 108. Now because it is a regular polygon, and in this case we have 5 sides, so it's a pentagon, every angle is 108. So we can set up our equation 108 equals 9x minus 18 and solve for x. And that's all we needed to solve for on this one. Alright, if you have any questions, please ask the person that's in the room or Mr. Bull. Have a wonderful day, and I shall see you at some point. Bye.